Okay, well, hi, this is Vicky. Today I have another speed build. This time it's on a 40 by 30 lot. The build ends up being 136k simoleons total, and it's 3 bedroom and 3 bathrooms, and 2 of those 3 bedrooms have a second story to them. And one of those bedroom second stories is actually a lofted space that I turned into a little art studio. But this build is a little bit different because, well, okay, here's the thing. There's an interesting little dollhouse that I think comes in base game, and the dollhouse is extremely weird looking. When I first saw it, I thought it was supposed to be a hospital because it has a helicopter landing pad on it. But no, I think it's just supposed to be a modern home. Anyway, I thought that I could recreate it. Turns out I can't. uh, yeah, so like that's the tea. I couldn't recreate it, but I tried my best. It's extremely weird looking. Dare I say it's actually extremely ugly on the outside. But on the inside, I feel like it looks pretty damn good. As you can see, I did spend a lot of time placing windows. I feel like 90% of this build is just lots of teal colored windows. But that's what the dollhouse looked like, so that's what I did. One of these windows is custom content, but I mean, this building's atrocious. You're not going to download it. It's fine. Also, we don't have helicopter pads built in game. Not yet anyway. So instead I just put a little not a parking lot. I guess it's, well, there's 2 cars there and they're parked, so it's a parking lot. At the front of the dollhouse, there's an entryway that kind of leans outward on the awning. I don't really know how to explain it that well, but I could not replicate that in The Sims. So instead I just put 2 roof pieces that kind of go in the reverse direction, but I feel like it's the same spirit that I was trying to convey that's within the little dollhouse item. This is also going to sound really silly of me. I didn't realize that like dollhouse builds were a thing, and I still haven't watched a video of one. I just know that they exist. And when I was making this, I didn't really know what to do from the back. I didn't think to just make it a cutaway, but I closed this build up. Anyway, let me know if you guys watch those and how you like those kind of videos. So anyway, we start off in the kitchen, and it does end up a little bit more cluttered than I would have wanted to, but I do like how it turns out. As for the cabinet and stair colors of this home, I was really inspired by the windows and kind of carried that greenish, bluish, teal color over as best I could. I'm starting to think that kitchens are my favorite thing to do, and I think my habit of over cluttering them just means that I probably need to do like a traditional build sometime soon, because I've done a lot of more modern, minimal ones, when really what I need to do is just find a small kitchen in an apartment somewhere or in a small little home and pack it. I don't know if it shows, but I really had no idea what I wanted to do for any room in this build. My only plan was, oh, I'm gonna remake this dollhouse because it's something I've been thinking about for a while. And then when I did, I was like, oh, this looks terrible. It's weird looking. I do like the other little dollhouse, the one that's like Victorian, but it has a tower that's rounded, and we obviously don't have rounded walls, so I can't do that. I know people use the tool mod and they make their own rounded walls. I've never had success with the tool mod. I don't know if it's just like me being inept or the tool mod is just hard to use. I've seen people make rounded rooms using platforms, and that's kind of interesting. So who knows, maybe I might give that a try. I do show myself decorating two of the bathrooms. One of them is a Jack and Jill bathroom that the kids share, and one of them is a bathroom that's attached to the master suite or room. I don't know. It's 2 floors. So the bathroom's on the base floor. This one is the Jack and Jill that the kids share. And this one is the master bathroom that the parents have. So on either side of the Jack and Jill bathroom are 2 bedrooms, both for family children, I guess. I don't know. One of them is for a younger child sim, which is the one that I'm decorating now, and it's a little bit more neutral colored, while the other side is for the teen sim and has a larger bed and does have a little bit more color to it. I did enjoy doing this room. The colors are like really pleasing. The room just seems really nice. I don't know, for some reason it reminds me of IKEA. It just seems very pleasant to be in here. I know it's probably a little bit bland for like an actual kid's room, but whatever. Rich people have no taste, you know how it is. It's probably as bland and neutral toned as the Kardashian kids' playroom, but I kind of wouldn't have it any other way. Aside from putting down decals, I also like to put in nightlights in my kids' rooms to make it seem like an actual kids' room. Plus, I think the nightlight decor is like really good. And here we're moving on to the teens' room, which can also probably be a little bit bland, but I think the most exciting part of it is that there's a ladder that goes up to the loft, and the loft has some skill items. There's a little knitting setup, which obviously is just for the aesthetics because Sims will knit anywhere, like including on the toilet. And there's also a place for Sims to be able to work on their art skill. Anyway, I know I go a little bit buck wild with the eco lifestyle items in both this room and the other kids' room, but honestly, it's just a really good pack. Often use artwork to marry a bunch of colors in together, which has become easier with more of the new packs because I feel like Sims finally realized that we need color palettes that make sense and that match with each other. So they're giving us things that are finally the same color as something else in the same pack. And in the pack that came before it, I feel like Nifty Knitting, Tiny Living, and what the hell else has come out? Snowy Escape? Whatever. I feel like the colors are finally going together. So here's that knitting space I mentioned earlier. There's not much to do here. I think the sim will be able to do their homework here, so that's nice. After the little knitting craft area is the art area, and I put down the easel and a still life, which I feel like would be really good for you to practice when you paint from reference. And I also put a mirror next to it so that Sims can like somewhat sort of do a self-portrait. I don't really know how it works in Sims, but I imagine that would be good. Or maybe that mirror is too high. I don't know. Every mirror in the Sims is too high. And also a backdrop and a chair, so maybe you can convince another Sim to sit there and they can paint from reference and then paint their friends. The master suite area has 2 floors. The top floor is where the sleeping area is, and the color palette for this area is very, I guess you could say like 60s or 70s inspired. It does look really pleasant, but it also doesn't look like the rest of the house. Oh wait, maybe it does look like the rest of the house. I don't really remember what the living room looks like. The bottom part of the suite area has the master bathroom or the ensuite bathroom. I basically just turned this area into a dressing room because I didn't really know what else I wanted to do with the space. And I realized that turning a room that's almost entirely windows into a dressing room or a closet is kind of a bad idea. So I had to put down these room dividers. I don't even know like where they came from, and I almost never used them, but they came in handy this time. Also, I realized the color palette and style of this room does not match the rest of the home, but whatever, you win some and you lose some, you know? I'm gonna be real with you, I did not know what I was gonna do with the staircase landing. It looks really disjointed at first, but then it comes together. I decided to put down a grand piano because I was like, what do rich people have? They have pianos. Yeah, they use pianos to take up space, so that's what I did. There we go, with the funky carpet, it looks better together. And now we're in the living room, which was actually really fun to do. Use the same color palette as the rest of the house, which again is made easier because Sims grew some brain cells and they made eco lifestyle match with other things. This built-in entertainment space is actually just all cabinets. The little cabinet, that's all that is at the bottom, plus the two large, I mean, I feel like I'm describing something that looks very like obvious, but if you actually look at the cabinet options, you'll see what I mean. Also here I spent a lot of time trying to perfectly place stuff on top of the fireplace, but I ended up moving this fireplace anyway, and I put just like artwork or something along this wall. Okay, so here's where I move it. Imagine being able to have a fireplace and it's not even the focal point of your room because you're so rich and you have a huge screen TV. And here we're in the dining room, which I think is actually a little bit plain, but I mean, not everything has to be over-cluttered, right? And I carry over the colors from the rest of the house into this room and then realize that I want artwork to match. So I grab this painting that I put at the staircase landing, and in its place I leave one of the family portraits, which also conveniently does come in a nice bluey, greeny teal color. There's that dollhouse that I threw down earlier. I ended up putting it in a little display case so that in-game Sims would see a miniature of the build that they're inside of. How fun is that? And here we are at the outside, which kind of don't enjoy doing. I did go off with this one a little bit. I ended up putting in a water slide. I thought if you have the space and the money, and if you live in a hot ass place like, oh wow, I really can't remember the name of this place. Whatever. Your kids would want a water slide. Also, on the dollhouse, this is exactly where the helicopter pad would be. But since I obviously am not going to make a helicopter pad, I mean, I guess I could. I think it's a helicopter toy, but whatever. I'm not going to do that. I just made it a... I'm cracking myself up. I just made it a car part area thing. Am I making any sense? I don't think I am. Anyways, part of the kids' recreational area, they get a swing set and a water slide and that thing, that trolley, it's not a trolley, I don't know what it's called. The cooler, I don't know what kids actually do with it, but I thought it looked fun, so they got one. Oh, I rhymed again. Nice. I love when I do that. I don't write a script, I'm just blurting whatever comes to my mind, which is probably why these voiceovers are so disjointed, but you're getting the real me, baby. I'm sorry. Anyway, here I am placing a light up, and here we are in the front. I'm trying to make this place look better. I failed to make this place look better. I instead put in what I think is a debug item from Get Famous. I don't think any Sims can actually walk on that. But I guess there is a back door your Sims can enter through, so they don't really need the front door. Then again, if your Sim is coming by car, I know that people who own cars, they come in through their garage or something anyway, so the front door is just like a farce. It's just for show. Here we are lounging by the pool and putting down, oh no, never mind. Here we are by the bucket. It's the water balloon fight bucket, but I thought it looks good for if you want to wash your car, you would just throw that there. Using some platforms, floor paint, and debug items, as well as a waterfall object thing, I make this little privacy area fence thing, which hides the kids from the adults tanning and just whatever you're doing in your backyard anyway, and I think it looks really cool, especially if you change the lights on the waterfall thing in live mode. So here are the screenshots, and there are quite a bit of them.